Hi, my name is Catherine and today I'm going to show you how I curl my hair and get this look. I've had a lot of questions about this on my blog and on social media, so I figured I would take some time today to actually film this and show you guys a tutorial of how this all happens. Alright, so to get started, I always start by washing my hair and drying it. I don't really put product in it, so this is just what my hair looks like after being washed and dried. So it's very straight, doesn't have much going on, which is why I usually curl it. So sometimes I will add a heat protectant to my hair or a volumizing mousse, but usually I just blow dry it and don't put anything in it. So that's what we're doing today. Again, I just washed and dried my hair and this is what it looks like. So, to get started, what you're gonna wanna do is section your hair into 2 sections. Now, I don't have a lot of hair, so 2 sections works for me, but if you have a lot of hair or it's really thick, you might wanna consider putting the top part of it up. For me, again, I don't really need to do that because my hair is just really thin and flimsy. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of comb my hair back and I'm gonna do my normal part. I part it with more hair on the left side. It's just what I like to do. And I just use my brush for this. I don't really care about getting it super perfect. If you want, you could use a comb, but again, I just kind of wing it. So then what I'll do is I'll just kind of go back and grab 2 sections and pull them forward and then just kind of comb the 2 sections forward. So just make sure you get all the hair. So there's no hair in the back now, it's all moved forward. All right, so once you've divided your hair into 2 sections, I always start on the left side, which is the side with more hair. You can start on either side. I just always start on my left side. I don't know why, it just works for me. So I start in the front. I'm gonna take a somewhat small section just because this is the front piece where the hair is a little bit shorter, so it just kind of works for me to take a little bit of a smaller piece. So that's kind of how big. So I take it and I comb through it. Then what I'll do is I'll take my curling iron and I'm gonna hold it with the clamp facing forward. And I'm gonna clamp it kind of in the middle. And then we're gonna roll it up and kind of hold for a second. Don't add the other hair quite yet. And then what you're gonna do very slowly is lift up on the clamp and add more hair in. And here's where I kind of switch hands. I hold the top with my right hand and the bottom with my left. And I'm just gonna gently lift up on that release and add more hair in. And just kind of keep twirling it, keep adding more hair in until you get to the end. Then you'll just kind of let it go. All right, so there is 1 curl done. Now, after each curl, I will take my hairspray. This is my Kenra Perfect Medium Hold Hairspray, and I'm going to spray that piece. This probably isn't totally necessary, but I just like to do it because I kind of like some extra hold. So, now we're gonna move on to the next section. This time I'll grab a little bit more hair now that we're kind of moved away from the front section. So again, grab that piece of hair and comb through it. And then I'm gonna take my curling iron, again, holding it with the clamp facing forward, clamp about halfway through, roll it up, give it a second, hold it here for a second. And then here's where I switch hands. And then I'm gonna keep adding and pulling away and adding a little bit more hair as we go. So hopefully you can kind of see that method. Just kind of keep adding. And then once you get to the end, you don't need to hold it that long anymore. The ends of your hair don't need that much time because it's a lot thinner. So again, just spray it. All right. Gonna move on to our third section now. This time I might grab a little bit more hair. I usually do about 5 sections on the left side. You may have to do more depending on how much hair you have. I just don't have like a ton of hair, so for all you ladies out there with super thick hair, this might take a little bit longer. Again, clamp in the middle, roll up, hold here for just a second. You really want to make sure that you are curling the top part of your hair. It just kind of helps hold that curl for even longer. And add more hair, curling away from your face, keep twisting. And sometimes at the back, I hold it longer. It just seems like the back of my hair might need a little bit longer in the curling iron. Right, and then we'll release that. Spray it. One thing to note too is that don't touch your curls after you curl them. Let them just sit there and cool. If you start to touch them and mess with them when they're still warm or hot, it's really gonna mess it up and it's not gonna last as long. So just something to watch out for. All right, so it does get a little bit trickier once we get to the back. I have about that much hair left on this side. So I'm gonna comb through it. I'm gonna divide this little back piece into 2 sections. Comb through the 4th section. And then again, using the same method I've been using. Try to get a little bit closer to the camera here. Might be harder to see in the back. One thing to note too is that it really doesn't matter if the back isn't like super perfect because people really aren't gonna like notice that as much, so that's just my opinion. All right, so now that I've done all of the left side of my hair, I kind of just go back and give it an extra spray or 2 just to make sure that it holds while I'm doing the other side of my hair. So again, I'm just gonna kind of make sure all this hair on the right side is still moved forward, make sure we didn't lose any pieces. And then on this side, I actually start in the back. I don't know why, it's just what I've always done, so I just kind of go in like a little circle around my head, but you could start in the front if you want to. So this side, I don't have as much hair. I only do 3 sections. So I grab a pretty big section in the back. And again, I follow the same method. So I'll clamp it in the middle, roll it up. Great. We're getting close. All right, now we're down to the last 2 sections. So I'm gonna grab this piece, take my curling iron, the clamp facing forward, clamp it in the middle, roll it up, start moving it down a little bit. Just be sure to kind of pause as you move down. Don't add all of the hair at one time. last piece. It doesn't take that long. And the front pieces, I really be sure to hold it for a little bit longer because it's the front of your face, everybody's gonna see it, so really make sure to be extra careful with the front pieces. Take your time, be patient, make sure they're getting a really good curl. Perfect. So again, I'll just kind of spray the whole right side of my head. All right, so now I have everything curled, and you're probably thinking, your curls look really tight and ringlety, and you're right, they do. So right now, I usually take about 5 or 10 minutes and I go do something else while my curls cool down and they really set in place. So I usually will do like my eye makeup or something like that, but do not touch your hair right now. Do not comb through it. Just leave it for about 5 or 10 minutes. So go watch TV or something fun. All right, so after waiting about 5 or 10 minutes, you can now comb your fingers through your hair. You can also use a brush to do this, but your curls are probably gonna be a little bit looser if you use a brush. So I like to use my fingers. That way I can still kind of keep the curls intact a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll actually take the back of my hand. I think it's because the insides of my hand maybe tend to be a little bit moist or something, but I take the back of my hand and I just kind of run my fingers through it, kind of gently, mostly through the ends. Run your fingers through your hair. Don't be afraid. So this is the end result after combing my fingers through my hair. Again, you could take your hairbrush if you want your curls to look a little bit looser. I usually don't do that because the Houston weather usually takes care of that for me. So after running my fingers through my hair, I will take my hairspray one last time and spray all over my hair. All right, and after you do your final hairspray, you're done. I hope you guys enjoyed this hair tutorial. I know I've gotten several questions about it, so hopefully this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions about how I got this look. I'm always happy to help. Hard to like film a video and be in a spinny chair, but I tried.